It has been nearly a month since the most recent portion of Michigan's no-fault auto reform law went into effect.
Advocates for survivors of catastrophic auto crashes have been saying for months that the changes would really limit their access to medical care. And now, just a few weeks in, they say that the devastation has already started. Our Michael Martin brings us the latest in this situation. It's threatening some people's lives, Michael.
Yeah, Doug, Ryan, we've been covering this evolving situation for the past several months. Now, these portions of our auto insurance reform law, massive slashes to what insurance companies now have to reimburse local care providers, for a number of healthcare services such as in-home care. And just a few weeks after these cuts have taken effect, we've already seen thousands of healthcare workers lose their jobs and dozens of companies shut their door completely, cutting off their clients' access to badly needed care all in an instant.
This is just the beginning. A lot of companies are really trying to hold on as long as they can.
Less than a month out from the second portion of Michigan's no-fault auto reform going into effect, and advocates say the effects have already been devastating.
Before this reform went through, everything was pretty straightforward. People in auto accidents were covered for life at an unlimited amount, which meant that seriously catastrophic injured people didn't have to worry about whether or not they would be taken care of.
But as part of the reform bill aimed at lowering Michigan's car insurance rates, which have for years topped the highest in the country, a new medical fee schedule was enacted, meaning local care providers are now only reimbursed by insurance companies at a rate of 55% of what they were being reimbursed for in 2019.
They don't have a diagnostic code that correlates with Medicare coverage. Their rates are reduced by 45%. And any business out there, if you tell them that all of a sudden you are going to be receiving 45% less revenue, is going to have a hard time surviving.
So almost all companies providing in-home care, which is one service of many not covered under Medicare, are now facing their own financial crises. Many of them already closing their doors, leaving their catastrophically injured clients with nowhere to go.
We're seeing families uprooted. We're seeing we have over 35 companies who are either shutting their doors completely or simply discharging the patients they have that are funded through auto no fault because they cannot work under the reimbursement cap.
According to Tom Judd with the Michigan Brain Injury Provider Council, 35 Michigan care providers have already had to either shut down or discharge clients receiving no-fault auto benefits, at least 1,500 healthcare workers losing their jobs.
This is just the beginning. A lot of companies are really trying to hold on as long as they can. These are mission-driven companies that care for the people they serve. They care for their employees. They want to make it work, and they're trying to go as long as they can.
Another study by ROI Insight predicts that within a year of these changes, if no legislative fix is taken up, 5,000 healthcare workers will eventually lose their jobs, and 6,000 patients will lose access to care.
And our position is that it's contrary to what Michigan law allows. So our expectation is that either this needs to get fixed by the legislature and Governor Whitmer, or it's going to have to get fixed through the court system.
The state legislature let at least 4 bills that would fix the fee schedule changes languish in committee, while they did approve a $25 million fund to help buoy local care providers the day before they went into effect. But people like attorney Brandon Hewitt with Michigan Auto Law say the fund isn't set up in a way that will provide real help to care companies.
Now our legislature is on their summer recess, so with this $25 million fund in place that's essentially almost worthless to many of these providers, what's going to happen now in the next few months, do you think, Tom?
Well, we're going to see more companies that are hanging on not be able to hang on anymore. We're going to see more families being uprooted. We're going to see more patients ending up in the hospital or getting removed from their homes that they've lived in for years at a level of dignity and supported independence to be moved to facilities, institutions, nursing homes. It's just not fair.
So these changes, they all went into effect on July 2nd, and we've heard from already dozens of survivors and their families who are struggling to figure out how they'll maintain the care that they need to simply survive. Now, these small care providers are going to do whatever they can to keep serving these most vulnerable clients, but eventually, under these new rates, many of them will inevitably have to close. And advocates say we'll see more and more people simply unable to find care. For now, live in the newsroom, Michael Martin, Fox 17 News.
All right. Thank you for that update, Michael.